Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of our Dassault system, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Ramana Reddy, Additional Chief Secretary, IT, BT, and Science and Technology, Government of Karnataka, onto this 3D Experience Forum, and also to this wonderful session on how government, academia, and industry can come together and collaborate in addressing the need of the hour, that is upskilling and reskilling of the workforce. Sir, welcome to the 3D Experience Forum and this particular session. So we are happy to
Thank you.
have you here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon and thank you.
To begin with, I would like to start with the following. When we look at the outset, government, academia, and industry, all three of them look to be three different worlds with the different purposes as well as the different approaches. When we purely from the government perspective, we would like to understand the significance of the skill from the growth perspective. That's a point number one. And the second point is the upskilling and the reskilling, from the government perspective to enable the workforce of the future, sir.
Thank you. To begin with, I would like to congratulate Dassault Systems for organizing this 3D Experience Forum. And I am told this is the 14th such forum, so I congratulate the Dassault System once again.
Thank you.
As far as the academia, industry, and the government are concerned, we have the best ecosystem in the country, I can say, and we have the best examples in the country. What has happened is, as far as back as 2000, Government of Karnataka has come out with a new concept called vision groups. We first formed a vision group on information technology, then vision group on biotechnology. Then recently we formed one vision group on startups. The first vision group on information technology was led by Mr. N.R. Narayan Murthy, and presently the chairman is Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, one of the founders of Infosys. And Ms. Kiran Mazumdar Shah, head of Biocon, is head of the vision group for the last 20 years. And recently, Mr. Prashant Prakash, who is in Axel Partners, he was made, a new group was formed, vision group on startups. Why I am mentioning this is a unique thing which is there in Karnataka compared to other states. And this is the reason why Karnataka ecosystem has improved so much. In each vision group, we have industry representatives, we have academia, we have government representatives. So basically, once in a month or two, we meet, and these industry representatives and academia, they suggest us how to go about it. Instead of government saying something, even our policies, they formulate and they collaborate with us in formulating the policies. This is the point number one. As far as the upskilling and reskilling are concerned, I have to say that this fourth industrial revolution is causing large scale changes, and there will be large scale changes in the roles of people. According to the 2018 Future of Jobs report, it is said that 75 million jobs are expected to be displaced by 2022. In fact, when computers were first introduced in the government, everybody said people will lose jobs. But actually, they have created more jobs than the jobs were lost. Only thing is, what has happened is we had to reskill the people with computerization skills. Similarly, whatever the fourth industrial revolution will do, however, these things again, we may need upskilling and reskilling for about almost 133 million new people. So in all, it is estimated that about 50% of the all employees may need reskilling and upskilling in the coming years because of the fourth industrial revolution. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. In fact, you covered what was there in my mind as a next question. In fact, I was, looking purely from the Karnataka state, our proud state, from that perspective, this aspect. Very interesting thing, what comes to my mind is that when I was going through the National Employability Report,
Yeah.
Basically, I understand that the industries would require about 250 million, employees by 2030. Point number one. I'm just trying to take a look at it from the three, worlds. I would call them as a world, that is government, academia, and the industry world. So from the industry, it is a 250 million employees requirement by 2030. And as we know, the education sector is already on the trajectory of the growth. And on the third side, while we are facing some kind of a downturn because of the COVID-19 situations and other reasons, but India is expected to see a tremendous growth in the coming decade, basically. The, Now, what comes to my mind when I look at these things, uh, can India emerge as a potential global supplier of skilled manpower? This is somewhat similar to what happened to IT, well, long back. That's one question I have. I will put another two questions related to the same, on this. What is the vision, purely looking from this perspective, while we know that you have taken some steps already on this aspect? What is the vision of the Karnataka state, and how do you think the other two stakeholders, industry and the academia, can help the government in achieving this vision, sir?
Okay, as far as the education is concerned, you might have heard recently, Government of India has come out with the new education policy. It says almost actually after 34 years, we have a new education policy. In that, lot of importance is giving for skilling and reskilling. Even right from the middle school level, they want children to participate in various skill activities. The difference between other cities and Bangalore is that Bangalore is known as the fourth best technology cluster in the world. In fact, after the Silicon Valley, Boston, and London, Bangalore is supposed to have the best ecosystem. Why I'm mentioning ecosystem is this will also contribute to the skilling of people. Like we have ISRO, we have DRDO, NAL, HAL is there, we have National Center for Biological Sciences, to name only best institutes in Bangalore. We have Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research. We have IISc, which is more than 100-year-old. We have IIM. We have National Law School, which is number one in the country. So all these are contributing to Bangalore's ecosystem. And the biggest difference between Bangalore and Karnataka and other states is Karnataka is the state which privatized higher education 50 years back. In fact, if you see, except UVCE in Bangalore and NIT Surathkal, all other engineering colleges were private engineering colleges. Recently, we have built government engineering colleges in some district headquarters. Similarly, we have highest number of medical colleges in the country, and all of them in the private sector. So these have definitely contributed to the skilling of people here. In fact, if you remember, 10 years back, people used to come in train loads full to write our CET exam.
Yeah.
But these days, every state has started hundreds of engineering colleges. That is a different story. In fact, there is a report which says that 100,000 PhDs work in Bangalore because we have the 400 out of 500 Fortune 500 companies are located here, including the systems. And you have global capability centers where a lot of research and skilling is happening. So I feel that Bangalore is very better placed, and as far as the ecosystem for skilling and innovation is required, I think Bangalore has the right mix of ecosystem for the skilling and the innovation.
All right, very interesting facts. I think audience will definitely, enjoy hearing all these things from you, sir. I'll come back to my second question again. Because very interesting thing what I noticed, in our so far conversation is you already touched upon what we are already at the threshold. I'm referring to the fourth industrial revolution. You already touched upon that, and you already touched upon the number of jobs that are likely to go, but more than that, the number of jobs are going to get created. And I would put like the jobs of the future require the future skills. That is how I look at things. And the interesting thing is that Karnataka has already taken the lead in, addressing these things from the futuristic perspective through the setting up of a center of excellence, in the various domains in your under your department, sir, KTech, under KTech, I'm referring. This is to, one side the driving the innovation, and on the other side the skilling the employees of the future, basically from that perspective. It would be nice to hear from you, more about this Center of Excellence and the other initiative. And
Yeah.
specifically, we are very proud to be partnering with the government of Karnataka from a Dassault system in the area of aerospace and defense. May I request you to touch upon this?
Okay, I would like to answer this question in two parts. One is we have a skill development department called Department of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship and Livelihood. So this department partners with the industry to give impart skills to the workforce. So already this department has partnered with Dassault Systems, and these two companies are not only providing skills, and they are helping the department in training the people and making them ready for the industry. Now comes the important thing of Center of Excellence. The centers of excellence, before I come to aerospace and defense, I would like to mention we have 8 centers of excellence. In that, important ones to be mentioned are one center on cyber security with Indian Institute of Science, one center of excellence in data science, AI and IoT with NASCOM, and another center of excellence on machine learning and robotics with our own institute called IIIT Bangalore. When we come to aerospace and defense, we are thankful to Dassault Systems that we have established a good center of excellence, and they have given a lot of skills to our professionals, and they are making Karnataka in the aerospace and defense sector to have very good talent pool. At this juncture, I would also like to mention that Honorable Chief Minister, and with him I was also there when we were in Davos, the Executive Vice President of Dassault Systems had met the Chief Minister, Ms. Florence Verzelen, and during the discussion, in addition to we have mentioned to her about the Center of Excellence which we already have, she has expressed interest that we should have new areas like smart cities and smart manufacturing, where we should have the collaboration. We will be working on those two initiatives also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing insights into the initiatives by your department. It's now very important, I believe, the other two stakeholders, that is the industry and the academia, to fully make use of this kind of infrastructure that your department is being able to set up with the companies or the. So related to this, what comes to my mind is two questions. One is that from the government of Karnataka's vision point of it, what is your expectation from the industry and the academia so that they can help you to realize the vision for the state in this aspect? The second thing is that how the industry and the academia can make a benefit of these kind of initiatives by the government of Karnataka.
So, as already mentioned by me, the Karnataka, there was never any problem in collaboration with the industry and academia. Last 20 years is the example anybody can see. As far as government of Karnataka is concerned, now the focus of government of Karnataka is more on cities other than Bangalore. Now we have a project called Beyond Bangalore. Because Bangalore, I am not saying that we should not, Bangalore should not develop this, because Bangalore, which was into low-end software, has now become a very high-end, cutting-edge technology city. But at the same time, for example, today itself, our state cabinet has cleared a policy where Beyond Bangalore, we have to go to Mangalore, Mysore, Hubli, Dharwad, Belgaum, Gulbarga, where we can contribute and we can do a lot of skilling and upskilling of the people there, and where we can encourage them into coming into cutting edge technologies. So we are giving a lot of incentives and concessions once the cabinet has approved, but once it comes in black and white, definitely we will publish that and everybody will come to know. And we have a lot of good engineering colleges and medical colleges all over the state, not just in Bangalore. We have good colleges in Mangalore, we have in Mysore, we have in Hubli, Dharwad, Belgaum. In fact, our VTU, Visvesvaraya Technological University, is headquartered in Belgaum. And VTU is already a beneficiary of your Center of Excellence with Dassault Systems in aerospace and defense. So similar initiatives we want to take up in other places so that our academic institutions in those areas will get benefit and the industry there also gets benefited. So this is our plan. Today only Cabinet has cleared Beyond Bangalore program. So thank you.
I think we will be very happy to extend our collaboration to wherever it is possible from a Dassault system.
Thank you.
I think both the industries as well as the academia in those respective regions, especially when I look at it from the tier 2 cities, what you mentioned in Karnataka, they can benefit a lot out of this kind of initiatives, and it helps in the overall socio-economic development of the region as well as the state. So,
Yeah, in fact, we have taken a conscious decision. Till now, last 10 years, we used to say tier 2 cities. Now we said we will not say that, we will say Beyond Bangalore.
Okay, I'll correct myself. All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
So, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And on behalf of Dassault System, I take this opportunity to thank you for your participation as well as sharing a lot of insights on this particular topic. And we have created a short video especially related to the Center of Excellence Aerospace and Defense, which we have been working with your department. And I would request our team to showcase that video, please.
The education sector in India is poised to witness major growth in the years to come. India's economy is also expected to grow at a fast pace. Higher educational institutions across the country are training millions of youngsters annually. But are they job ready? Can India convert the challenge into an opportunity to become a talent superpower? Can we bring industry and academia together and make students ready with proper mentorship and guidance and support the socio-economic development? Government of Karnataka, along with Dassault Systems and Visvesvaraya Technological University, have partnered to address the growing requirement of skilled professional in aerospace industry, which could be the potential sunrise sector for new employment opportunities. Center of Excellence Aerospace and Defense will provide mentorship to students by domain experts such as comprehensive skill development and innovation through R&D and collaboration, sharing best practices with MSME and startups in aerospace and defense sector. This Center of Excellence is equipped with the state-of-the-art infrastructure from Dassault Systems, 3D experience platform, and highly experienced industry experts in the various domains of the aerospace and defense industry. Center of Excellence Aerospace and Defense offers industry-aligned learning content and internship programs to the engineering college students and working professionals for upskilling and reskilling. Startups and education institutions can benefit from this partnership in multiple ways, like drive innovation aligned with industry needs, research on specific domains, leveraging the infrastructure and expertise, train industry professionals, promote startup ecosystem at the grassroots level in the universities. Let's look at our top achievements and student feedback.
After finishing my bachelor's degree, I thought I'll do some hands-on job experience first. My research found out this Center of Excellence in Aerospace and Defense. They provide us hands-on training before getting us a job.
The software that Dassault Systems provides is called the 3D Experience. A 3D Experience is a kind of an integrated software package which encompasses the entire domain, right from design to simulation to ergonomics to system engineering to manufacture.
All this in one software has given us people many opportunities.
These are the same softwares that are used in the industries. Dassault System provides these softwares as per the industrial requirements.
This software is widely used in the aerospace sector and it's user friendly. All the tools are benchmarked in this software.
What the students here are exposed to is a complete industry standard license and not kind of a student version.
If you are a student, engineering education institution, startup in aerospace and defense domain, aerospace industry organization, and are interested to know more, visit us at www.aerocoe.in. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. You can also connect us directly at contact@aerocoe.in.
So this year our Bangalore Tech Summit, which will be the 23rd summit, will be held from 19th November to 21st November. Every year we hold it in Bangalore Palace, but this time because of the pandemic, it will be a virtual summit. So I request through your forum to all the participants to participate virtually in this conference from 19th to 21st November 2020. Thank you.